Hi, welcome to Football World Weekly. I'm James Brady.
And I'm David Friend, here to bring you the weekly updates of your football world.
Here on our new and revamped set, we're set to talk about
These topics right here.
the Champions League final
Didier Drogba leaving Chelsea.
and David Villa to miss the Euro 2012.
Well, let's start off with that Champions League final.
Yeah,
That was pretty good. If you watched any of our last episodes, we were there at my dad's house watching it. We were stuck outside his house the night before. It was a big joke.
yeah, it's pretty bad.
But back to the game. Chelsea didn't play the game that I wanted them to, which you couldn't expect them. You couldn't expect them to with all the players that they had missing.
Yeah, a lot of people say that Chelsea took the wrong approach to the game, but the way I feel, well, they're just supposed to lie down and let Bayern Munich win the game. I know a lot of people related to German football are complaining about the loss, saying it's unjust that a team like Chelsea would win, but really they had
every opportunity.
They had
You're right. Yeah.
30 some odd shots on goal
Mhm.
and one goal. Then they substituted the guy who scored the goal out.
Yeah, right after he scored the goal, they had to bring him in a defensive substitution, which probably wasn't the right decision.
I mean, in most games that's the right course of action, but the way that they did it for today, it was just, to me, it didn't work. And to complain about someone playing defensive football for 90 minutes and then to try to kill the game yourself and have it backfire on you,
Yeah, it's a little hypocritical.
it must have left a pretty
But you got to
salty
admit,
taste.
Chelsea was lucky to get
Oh,
that header.
definitely.
That was their first corner of the game in the 87th minute.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Drogba got that header. It was a fantastic header. You can't take anything away from that.
Oh, definitely not.
Yeah, and then they leveled it.
Oh, yeah.
And then they went into extra time, which was very exciting. Especially after 4 minutes, Didier Drogba fouled who was it, Frank Ribery, I believe.
Oh, yeah, Frank Ribery, he
Fouled him inside the box.
crumbled to the ground, yeah.
Yeah, it was just a touch. I mean, really, Frank Ribery made the most of it. He did come off after that because he had a horrible cramp.
Nah, that kind of serves him right. He was flopping around all game.
Yeah.
Ribery's a skillful player, but
Yeah, Ribery, I like Ribery. He wasn't playing his best game that day.
definitely not.
No. And Iron Robin, I don't know really what happened or what was
Oh.
going through his head, but that penalty he took wasn't just what he needed.
Definitely not. He really had a poor game all around. How many touches does he need to make something happen?
Yeah, I think every Bayern Munich player had with the exception of
Thomas Muller.
Thomas Muller. Yeah, Thomas Muller. I think he was the only one that was actually playing well, and he got substituted off.
Yeah, definitely.
But back to Iron Robin. Yeah, Iron Robin, Mario Gomez. I think they all felt the pressure of it, of trying to win at their home stadium, the Champions League final.
Definitely Mario Gomez, because you saw him. He's a clinical finisher, and he takes about eight touches during the Champions League final that didn't need to be taken. And you saw him; he just blasted them to the side, over the bar. Lots of poor shots.
Yeah. I think he was trying too hard, as well as Iron Robin and Frank Ribery, to win the game themselves when they could have done a little more teamwork.
Oh, definitely. I mean,
And to be fair, Chelsea did have 10 men behind the ball almost all the time. So it's hard to break down a defense like that.
it is hard to break down the defense, but you've seen teams do it time and time again. It's not exactly like there weren't weak spots that Bayern could have been targeting. I mean, down the right, Basingwa,
Yeah, Basingwa did not have a good game.
definitely not. I think Basingwa was someone they should have taken advantage of, and they really didn't take advantage of him to the extent that they should have.
No, they were trying to run down the right too much. Basingwa plays on the right, but Bayern for their right would be Chelsea's left, which has Ashley Cole. Cole, I mean, he was a solid player the whole season. I don't see why they didn't try, just like you said, to exploit Basingwa at their weak point.
No, definitely not.
Yeah.
You saw at the beginning, David Luiz, he seemed to pick up an injury, but he played the entire
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he
120 minutes.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, a lot of Chelsea fans, I'm sure, were happy because he went out. That would have meant Basingwa at center back.
Oh yeah, no one wants that.
Definitely not.
Yeah, and I give credit to David Luiz. He wasn't even supposed to play the final. There were many doubts.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, him and Gary Cahill both played.
Yeah,
They were both doubts from injury to be playing in the final.
they both played well.
Yeah, they did.
I feel Frank Lampard played well as well because a lot of people say Frank Lampard, all he wants to do is go forward. But you saw in the Champions League final when the team needed him, he came back.
Yep, and I think he felt he needed because he was the captain of that day since John Terry wasn't there.
No,
And I always feel that Frank Lampard deserves that title. I don't know why. I also John Terry's a great captain, but I feel like Frank Lampard deserves the title more than him.
no, definitely. Yes.
And then back to the Champions League final ended in penalties.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, those were exciting.
Yeah, they were good penalties.
Right off the bat with Juan Mata missing the first penalty for Chelsea. They were the first ones to start. I thought that was Bayern's all the way since they scored 3 in a row.
Oh, yeah, especially. Mm-hmm. I was kind of surprised when I saw Manuel Neuer step up to take.
So was I. I mean, yeah, and if you remember, he didn't even know it was his turn.
Yeah, no one knew.
Yeah, but he dispatched his spot kick quite comfortably.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. After the game, it came out that Arjen Robben was uncomfortable taking the shot, which is why he didn't appear in any of the penalties.
Which is a shame.
Yeah.
I feel like he could have righted his wrong the way Asamoah Gyan did in the World Cup for Ghana when he missed the penalty right at 120 minutes when it went to extra time against Uruguay. And he missed that penalty, which would have taken the semifinals, first African team to go there. And he missed that penalty, and then when it went to the penalty shootouts just a minute later, he scored his.
Yeah. I don't know. I guess there are different types of players, different mentalities. I'm sure Asamoah Gyan didn't have to deal with a beach ball.
Oh yeah, the beach ball.
As I'm sure
that was something that I really felt maybe that it should have been taken over. Even though the beach ball being thrown out onto the pitch didn't affect the penalty at all. Still, that's controversy written all over it.
I'm gonna completely disagree.
Come on.
Not even bother to argue with you. I'm gonna move on. We'll look at
Didier Drogba.
Didier Drogba. He hit the winning penalty.
He did when he scored the winning goal and the winning penalty.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fantastic player, Didier Drogba.
Yeah, fantastic player. It's a fantastic last moment for Chelsea.
Yeah. For his Chelsea career. He spent 8 years there.
Yeah, and now it's time for him to move on.
Yep. He's moving. He rumors are that he's going to be going to China, probably the same place where Nicolas Anelka went.
Yeah, to play with Nicolas Anelka,
Shenghua, Shanghai.
Yeah,
something like that.
Yeah, and I mean that's good for Chinese football, but
yeah, I mean he's still a powerful player. I mean, if you had watched the final, he was the star player for Chelsea. I think.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
And just to think, earlier this year, Andre Villas-Boas was trying to force him out of the club.
He was trying to force out a lot of people, including Frank Lampard.
Oh, definitely. They were talking about letting Frank Lampard go to the MLS, which just sounds bizarre now when you say it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and this was only 3 months ago.
Yeah. Just shows what a change in manager can do.
Yeah.
Especially one that...
It's having someone who actually knows what he's doing.
Yeah, definitely. AVB. Definitely wasn't the guy for me for Chelsea.
No way.
I mean, I was enjoying his run. It's pretty amusing to say the least.
Yeah, I mean, I was pretty happy seeing all Chelsea's flops. That was pretty funny.
I was more happy seeing AVB fail. Not to be a hater, but that's a guy who hasn't really earned anything.
Yep, and I'm not going to miss him. I hope he doesn't get that Liverpool job. I don't think he deserves that.
I really hope he doesn't either.
Yeah, he can spend more time in Portugal for me.
Or go to Roma, somewhere where I'm not watching him on a weekly basis.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, okay. Well, for our third topic, it was about David Villa. He's going to be missing the Euro Cup this year due to injury.
Oh,
he suffered what was it, a broken knee or broken leg?
I think it was a broken leg at the Club World Cup.
Yeah, the Club World Cup.
Yeah,
the Club World Cup back in December.
The biggest tournament in the world, according to Santos player Neymar.
Yeah, right. But to be honest, it's nothing that major.
It's about 6 friendlies or so.
Especially since the European Championship, the European winner goes straight into the semifinals.
Oh yeah,
that's barely a competition.
It really isn't.
Yeah, and then he broke his leg there. I think that's a big reason why Barcelona didn't compete at the level that everyone expected him to this year. Because David Villa, he was in terrific form at the beginning of the season.
Oh yeah,
and then he broke his leg, which is a shame because now Barcelona didn't still have the chance to win the Copa del Rey.
Yeah,
but I mean that's not what they were looking for, and now he's going to be missing the Euros, which I think is a huge thing. Yeah.
On the Barcelona note, it did give some of the younger players a chance to play, though. We saw Christian Tello get in a few games, Isaac Cuenca. Yeah, they definitely weren't the big game players that they needed down the stretch.
No,
especially if you saw the Chelsea game. But I mean, it's good to get some of your younger guys' experience.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Definitely not at the cost of a talent like David Villa.
No. Yep, and David Villa, he's a big reason. He's the main reason why Spain won the World Cup 2 years ago.
Yeah.
And he scored I think 5 goals in the Euro Cup 2008. So it's a big loss for Spain.
That's a big blow.
Yeah. What do you think of their chances now without David Villa? Who do you think can be in contention now for the strikers positions?
I definitely looking at Fernando Llorente.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, and
he's definite first pick.
Yeah, definite. I think he'll partner up with Alvaro Negredo.
You think so?
Yeah, I think Negredo, he played well. If not him, Roberto Soldado had a good year.
Yeah, he did. He had a great year, especially actually his last call up. He scored a hat trick,
Yeah.
which was his first call up in I think it was 4 years or something like that.
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah. I hadn't played for Spain for 4 years, and then he came back and scored a hat trick.
Yeah, I feel that those two guys, they represent some of the better forwards in Spain. I don't know if you want to go with a younger player. They could go with Athletic Bilbao's Iker Muniain.
Mm-hmm.
He's another good player.
Yeah.
But would you want to throw him into a stage like this early?
No.
If Roy Hodgson was the manager, I'm sure he would do it.
Yeah, Roy Hodgson, no doubt would take it.
Yeah, but I don't know if you want to start off with that.
Mm-hmm. I mean, Vicente Del Bosque, he's an experienced manager. I think he knows what he's doing.
Yeah, he knows what he's doing. What do you think about Fernando Torres' chances of going to the Euros?
Slim. He was just reported complaining that he wanted to play more time with Chelsea, and he felt he didn't get the time he deserved, and he wanted to play more time in the Champions League final.
Oh yeah, it was ridiculous.
And if you watch the Champions League final, when he came in, he barely did anything. He was slow.
He won the corner, yeah, but he
did
really
get the
wasn't
corner
doing
that got them the goal, but I mean, he was slow. He couldn't attack the ball very well. Anytime he got on a break with the ball, it was quickly cut out by any of the Bayern defense. So I don't think he has any right to complain.
Yeah, and I even think Ryan Bertrand did a better job than Fernando Torres would have done.
Oh yeah, I was very surprised. Ryan Bertrand being his debut for Chelsea and his debut in the final.
Yeah,
and he impressed me actually because he was a player that I thought would make a lot of mistakes, as Basingwood did.
Yeah.
But I barely even noticed him on the field, which is actually a good quality to have.
Yeah, that is a good quality.
The same with Frank Lampard. I didn't really see him out there, but he was there. He did a great job.
Second half, I didn't see Mario Gomez at all. That's not the guy that you want.
That's the opposite. You want to see something out of your striker.
Yeah, definitely. So yeah, that should wrap up today's edition of Football World Weekly.